welcome to an audience with ISAA. Happy viewing.
Good afternoon, guys. Hope you're good. It's great to be back again. I seem to be coming back quite often, and that's because I've got brilliant people and brilliant topics to talk about and people to interview. So I have to say thank you so much to my past guests and to my guest that's currently with me and to my future guests. So just getting into this, my guest today, I would like to describe as always a teacher. She remains a dedicated teacher, and that's because it's in her blood. So my guest actually comes from a family of teachers. It's almost a tradition in the family. And, you know, you can't but be so proud of people that make it a duty, because it takes a lot to teach other people, to take children, to mold them and turn them into human beings that actually do something for the society. So this my next guest, Mrs. Owolabi, runs a Montessori nursery school, but the bulk of her professional career has been dedicated to public administration in the civil service. So welcome, Mrs. Bolanle Owolabi.
Thank you, Princess. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Princess ISAA. Good afternoon, listeners. Good afternoon, viewers, and everywhere.
Brilliant.
Good afternoon if you're in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Good afternoon if you're in the UK, wherever you are.
Yeah.
I hope you're having a lovely time, enjoying this lockdown. And
Yeah.
if it's been eased off in your area, fine. Good luck to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for this opportunity, Princess, to come on this your program. Yes, it is my pleasure, and I am really, really grateful. Thank you so very much.
Fine, that's fantastic. Thank you so much as well for coming. So I'd just like you to, so I've done an introduction, and I've said you're a retired civil servant, 35 years in the service. I'd like you to give a little bit of a background into how you actually got to be in education, in the business of education, I'll call it. So can you give us a short background into yourself, please?
Thank you very much. Once again, I appreciate you and I thank you for this opportunity again. My name is Bolanle Owolabi. Yes. I'm a mother of three,
yeah,
and a grandmom of three.
You look great. You look
I'm
great
closer
for a grandmom.
I'm closer to 60 than 50.
Okay.
Look, yes, you know. I had my elementary education in different areas, you know. It's not actually stable because my parents were teachers and they were frequently moved.
Yeah.
But I can't say that because I'm a child of a teacher, wherever they get to, they fix me in a class.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lay claim to any of the secondary, primary schools that I attended, you know, because there were so many. But I'll take it from the point where I entered the secondary school in 1974 when I had to go into Pride School at Doekiti, one of the best schools in Nigeria,
Up
if
high
not
school.
in the whole world. Up school, yes.
Up school. Okay.
You know, I had my secondary education there, and for higher education, I had them in Lagos,
yeah,
both in LASU and Unilag, the product of both great institutions in Lagos State. Yes.
Yeah.
I started with reading education, have a first and second degrees in education actually, yeah, and I started as a teacher. You know, like she said, I'm from a family of teachers, so it wasn't too strange for me when I started my career as a teacher, and I really enjoyed it at that particular time, till I got to a point that I felt that I should move on to the public service.
Yeah.
Then I crossed over to the public service of Lagos State.
Okay.
Presently, and I retired after 35 years of serving meritoriously in 2018, and I started that preschool, FRANTEES Homeschool Montessori in Ikeja, yeah, which I run presently as the director of the school. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for that brilliant introduction. That was really good. And I guess it really feeds into the topic that you've chosen to talk to us about today. And the topic is fostering independence in children. And I mean, that goes way back to the bottom line, which is how do you bring up upstanding members of the society? So I will say, given your background, my first question then is, you spent 35 years in public service as an administrator.
Absolutely.
And retired as a director of admin and human resources, which is which is fantastic. That's a whole wealth of knowledge there. So you started your early career as a teacher. So was it a given that after this meritorious and long career in the civil service that you wanted to return to teaching?
I would say it's like returning to my first love.
Yes.
It's like returning to my first love, because I wonder if I had, as a Christian, had taken time to actually look into myself. Yep. And given that the kind of upbringing that we had, one had the opportunity to really look into yourself. I shouldn't have ventured into public service. So I would have started and continued as a teacher.
Yeah.
Because coming back to it now simply tells me that is actually my first love. Yeah. It was out of myself, just getting myself fulfilled in another form, that I had to go into the public service.
Yes. Yeah. So it's great. I mean, it's good because I like to describe that as, if you like, doing a 360-degree turn back to what you enjoy. Yes. So yes. I'm happy you've come back to what you're actually really enjoying, and there's nothing like being fulfilled. You've said it, you mentioned at the earlier start that you are closer to 60, and I have to say that I think you're very lucky that you're fulfilled, and that fulfillment shows in you, because you don't look way anything close to that age that you mentioned. But having worked very hard as a civil servant, to actually be able to return to your first love, make it into a business, and seeing little children coming out as a result of your input, it's really great. But I will say, just to get it right, you are a mom of 3, and 3 successful children at that, who I know are doing very well in the world today. I know you've got bankers, you've got an engineer, you've got, so you've really done exceedingly well in terms of your children. Obviously, they must have had ambition as well to follow through and to deliver. And you've also got 3 grandchildren as well. So having seen the success of your children, is it one of the reasons that you decided to actually go into the business of running a nursery, to impart that foundational knowledge into other people's children?
Yeah, yes, I would say yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes, because I've seen that my children are doing very well. I might have made some mistakes in raising them because of the time and because of the knowledge that I had at that time.
Yeah.
Which I want to correct now in other people's children.
Yes.
It is also more of contributing my quota to the development of this country, Nigeria.
Fantastic. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Having seen the state of education, especially at that level of where children develop themselves, because at that little age, that preschool age of between 2 to 5 years, that is the essence for children to develop both physically and cognitive skills that they need to go through life.
Yeah, yeah.
That is the time that you can actually put them through those children.
Yes.
The children is like a plain paper.
Yes. Yeah.
They are just as plain as you can see them. So whatever you are able to put into them at that age is what they actually go on to be.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would say that it is more of the love and concern for development of education, that had made me to go into that business for now. And also, those mistakes that I think can be corrected in bringing up of children and giving them independence, has also geared me towards that business.
Yeah, that's a fantastic reasoning, actually, because if I may say so, Mrs. Owolabi, what you've just said there is the fact that first and foremost, you want to give back to the society. Fantastic, you raised very good children and they're doing very well. The fact that you're also acknowledging that along the way you must have made mistakes, but like mistakes can correct itself if somebody knows I potentially I've done something wrong and I want to learn and to develop. And when I look at everything you've said so far, it all coalesces into the fact that you just want to give back. You feel your purpose is to build the next generation and build them well. And you made a very good point about, the current affairs. Although, we're in a situation where we're in a global pandemic, and that's had a real big impact on what's happening. But before the pandemic, the situation in Nigeria, if I may say, where you are, the educational system has gone really to pots. It's not as good as it could be. So when we have concerned individuals that can come and say, well, rather than retire and start to enjoy, because nothing stops you from enjoying yourself and, doing whatever it is that you wish to do now, but coming out and still saying, right, I want to give a lot to that I've still got so much to give to the society. I'm going to go by the way of making sure the foundation for children are good by running a Montessori nursery. Yes. So I must really applaud you for that. So thank you very much. I'll go into the crux of the topic that we've chosen today, which is fostering independence in children. And it's obviously you're very skilled, you're learned in this area. So I'd like you to actually describe the characteristics of what makes a child able and independent.
Thank you, Princess. Yes, let me start by saying, who is actually a child? Who are we referring to when you talk of a child? Globally, a child could mean an infant between 0 and 18.
Yeah.
At the same time, a child, from this perspective that we're talking, is a person who hasn't grown up yet.
Yeah.
Who is inexperienced and probably immature.
Yes. Yeah.
Cannot take decisions for him or herself.
Mm-hmm.
Relies on other people to take decisions for them.
Yeah.
As it concerns them. So I would like us to look at the child from that angle.
Yeah. Not
go by the WHO definition of a child.
Okay. Okay.
So we are going to be talking. When I say a child, we're going to be talking of a child between age 0, to about 5-6 years.
Okay. Okay.
I run a Montessori preschool, and the preschool is for 0 to 6 years.
Yeah. Okay.
We can take infants depend on their children for whatever they want.
Yes.
Those are 0 to 6 months.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that from age of 6 months, a child has a will that he or she wants to express.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And they might not be able to talk. At times they cry.
Yes.
At times they show other signs of telling you that I have a will. You might want to give a child a feeding bottle, and the child closes his or her mouth.
Yeah.
That is telling you that I don't want to eat at that time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. At the same time, I want us to look at independence as the state of wanting or being able to do things for yourself.
Yeah.
That is independence. So we're going to look at those things together, holistically, to determine how to foster this independence in children who has been described as inexperienced and immature.
Yeah.
So like you said, the characteristics of a child who is independent, or who is able, you mean a child who has become independent, or who is trying to attain independence.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, okay. For a child who wants to attain independence, you know, a child of, by the time you see a child who's about 3 years old and can feed him or herself,
Yeah.
that is independence for a 3-year-old child.
Yes.
To be able to feed him or herself on her own, unaided, unattended to by parents, that is independence for that child.
Okay.
For a child to be able, of that age, to be able to put on his or her clothes unassisted is independence.
Mm-hmm.
Put on the shoes and strap them, lace them up nicely is independence. Which we discover that most parents nowadays, you see them dressing up for a child of 6-year-olds. A 6-year-old child who cannot dress up is not independent.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
At that age, should be able to handle little chores in the house, have a kind of core chart for them, the chores in the house that the child can participate in, you know, give age-appropriate chores to them in the house.
Yes.
Pack up your toys when you're done with playing with them. Tidy up the toy room nicely.
Yeah.
Return them to the toy basket.
Yes.
That is independence.
Very true.
Letting that child have his or her space, taking care of his or her space.
Yes.
Maybe she has a room to herself. Let the child be able to tidy it up.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up from your bed, spread out your bed sheets, your duvet nicely.
Yes.
And that's okay. That's independence at that age.
Yes.
Independence in play. You know, because a lot of people see play. The child is playful. The child is playing.
Yes.
Forgetting that a lot of things are learned in play.
Very true.
Yes, it is the independence they get through play that actually that gives them independence in other areas of their lives.
Very true.
Because while playing, they'll make mistakes, they correct themselves without you, and they take in those corrections, and it guides them against the next time they have to go through the same route.
Wow.
So the levels of independence in children varies and it graduates according to age.
Okay.
If I want to say, okay, independence in maybe a 10-year-old child, you know, at that point, introduce some kind of pocket money.
Yes.
Let the child be independent financially.
Yes.
Then guide as a parent. If it's a weekly allowance, take him or her to the stores. Let him be able to decide him or herself, okay, I want this pair of socks. It is a decision for the child.
Yes.
And by it, no parent interference.
Yes.
No saying, okay, don't take that color. Parents will say, don't take that color. And the child wants a color blue. The parents will say, no, it's color pink.
Yeah.
And you're already disallowing the child from gaining independence at that age that he or she needs.
Yes. Can I interject a little bit there? Because you made a good point about, you know, with allowance and stuff. As part of the independence that we're talking about, that you foster, and it might just be a bit of an aside, should it be encouraged that for this allowance that the parents would give to the child to go, they actually do some chores, you know, for it, you know, there's that way you teach them financial responsibility as well.
Discipline, yes. You can say, okay, if you tidy up your room nicely this Saturday, you have 1,000 naira in your kitty.
Yes.
And, you know, the child will look forward to that. And make sure that whenever you promise a child, do not go back on your promises.
Yeah, very
so I'll give you 1,000 for tidying up your room nicely on this Saturday morning. If the child fulfills his or her own part of the bargain, please let parents also fulfill their parts. You might say, no, you were yet to finish up, and because of that, you keep back the money. No.
Yes.
You know, you are going to gain the child's confidence. And when the child trusts you and know that, okay, he or she can talk to you and you're truthful.
Yes.
When that trust is there, then the child will be able to come over to you for other things. And subsequently, you're building that independence in the child.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Mrs. Owolabi. It's been fantastic, actually, as you go through the characteristics of what makes a child independent. And as you said, you know, at 6 months, yes, when children cry, it's not because they're troublesome, it's because they're trying to express a need for something. And it's also, even though we're both parents, and you know, a lot of us in this, I've had kids, it's also interesting to learn that by 6 years, you know, they're very, very conversant with what is right, and therefore helping them with the various, you know, actions to get them to be independent is actually the right thing to do. So it fits into my next question, which is about conflict management. Because, and when I say that, you're a director of a nursery, a Montessori nursery. You have guidelines and principles that you follow in terms of raising kids into the right environment. Do you, in terms of ensuring, how do you manage parents' expectation in terms of ensuring a solid fostering of independence in their kids? Are there conflicts that you have to manage in that area?
Thank you. That's a very good one, you know, that I encounter every time from my parents in the school. You know, a lot of parents nowadays find it difficult to put a line between care and asserting the authority as parents to the child.
Yes.
You know, no matter how much you love a child, the essence of being a parent is to raise a child who will be able to find his or her fate.
Yes.
And go into adulthood with less stress.
Yes. Yes.
A child who can fit into anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, socially, emotionally, psychologically, fitting. A global citizen who, whether you are in Nigeria, you are in the UK, you are independent to an extent that you can sustain yourself. You can live a life without your parents supervising you or being at your neck and asking you to do this and do that every time. That is independence. But like I said before, there are skills, lifelong skills that we have to put into these children right from this age. The moment they lose it at that age, they don't have it, there's nothing for them to live on when they grow up. So I find out that some parents over pamper, over love, over care.
Wow.
And they find it difficult to separate from that. They now make separation emotional for their children. You see, I've seen a parent who brought a child to the school for the first time, and the mother was crying and the child was crying.
Oh.
Yeah, because she has not trained the child to realize that he or she is secured even when not with the mom.
Yes.
Let your child talk to your child to the extent that he or she feels secured, whether you are there or not. You know, and it goes down to communication with them. As little as they are, you can sit your child down. Kemi, mommy is going to work at 8 o'clock. Mommy is coming back at 2 o'clock. So I'll be with you at 2 o'clock. Then we have fun together. The child understands that. The child will not cry when you have to go to work because you have told the child that you're going to work. And when it's 2 o'clock, mommy is going to be back. She's happy, she's secure, she understands you. Communication is there. The same thing they should learn to let the child, you know, be away from them. Let the child play. Let them have other means of entertainment other than you. Do not be the only source of entertaining your child. Do not be the only source of engagement. If they have to play, let them play independently. Do not choose a play for them. No, you are not riding bicycle today. Give the child a choice. Timileyin, do you want to ride a bicycle now, or do you want to have a nap? That is independent.
Yes.
If the child chooses whatever he wants to do, I can assure you that there won't be issue. He will not cry at that time. He will not cling on to you. You are doing something else. It will give you time to do other things.
Yes.
And the child will be busy doing what he or she likes.
Likes to do.
So children must be given choices.
Yes.
Do not force your way on them every time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even as little as what they need to wear on themselves. Bring out 2 sets of clothes.
Yes.
Bring a pink dress and bring a blue dress. Fikumi, do you want to have a pink dress on today, or do you want to have a blue dress?
Yes.
She will tell you, I want the pink one today.
Yes.
And if she takes the pink one, there won't be any issue throughout the day.
Yes.
But if you give a child the wrong one and say, no, you are going to wear the blue one today. I'm your mom. You're wearing the blue one today.
Yeah, yes.
The child is already disturbed all day. She won't be happy all day. And she might cry. She might throw tantrums. She might do anything, because you have not allowed her to be herself.
You've interrupted their will, to
that
learn.
will that they have.
Yes.
And they're not happy at that. Yeah. And you're not helping the child to gain any independence. And you're not giving the child that you're not showing the child that you trust her.
Yes.
That you trust her judgment. Yes. And the child will be feeling insecure with you.
Yes. I can actually see that, and it's a big point actually, and I guess it's good to draw out that we're having conversations about, although you did define what you meant by a child for the purposes of this discussion, but when we think about it, that issue of conflict management, it's the first time I'll hear the word overlove, but overlove is the same as indulgence, and sometimes I have to say
the overlove.
Yes, and that I accept and I see, and I have to say there's also that bit about parents wanting to, the word I'll use is compensate for maybe not being there, but in all that we're saying is you don't do your child any good if you go against a set of principles, a set of guidelines that would allow you to foster independence. So all of us, as
you must give the allowance for that independence. You must empathize.
Yes.
You must give allowance. You must leave room for mistakes.
Yeah.
There's no perfection. You're not looking at perfection at that time.
Yes.
They're just letting the child, teaching the child. So don't come and say, okay, no, the plate is still oily.
Yes.
The child has washed the plates. Instead of that, praise where necessary. Thank you for doing this. This is really nice.
Yep.
You have really done well. Instead of telling the child, oh, it's not clean, there's oil.
Yeah. And then
that demoralizes the child.
Exactly.
Next time the child will not want to try.
Want to do it.
But right. if you praise, if you say, okay, oh, you've really washed the plate. That's nice. Thank you. And keep it at that.
Yes.
But you can go further to say, next time, put more soap, so that the oil can go up.
That's it.
You can correct nicely.
Yes.
But not say that, oh, you've not done anything right. You never do anything right.
Oh dear.
See a lot of oil on this,
Yes.
The child will not try again.
Yes.
So you are not helping the child at all.
Thank you.
So you can praise where necessary.
Yes.
And parents should learn to know that given this independence, they still have the right to put that parental control.
Yes.
They have the parental control. So they should know where to stop when a child needs to be disciplined, when you need to set your boundaries. When it is 5 o'clock, no playing outside. That you have set the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
If the child can go out at 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, fine. You set the boundaries. As a parent, that is fine. But now to say the child should not go out, that is wrong. Let the child be independent, but set the boundary. Okay. When he or she is not now going by that, then there's an issue. But when you already set it and you've talked about it, and the child understands. Most parents feel that, 2-year-old, They don't know anything. They know quite a lot.
They do know quite a lot.
They know quite a lot.
Yeah.
I want to state that about 4 weeks ago, one of my little girls, the parents were running late, and I had to take her home. And the little girl ate some spaghetti, packed a plate to the kitchen. She was just 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Simisala was just 2 years. That is independence. She ate all alone, packed her plate after eating to the kitchen. That was the first time she was coming to my house. She had never been to my house.
Yes.
She removed her chair that's at the dining and just stuck it where it's supposed to be in my house. You know, that is independence for that age.
Yes, yes.
So independence varies according to age. You keep moving your goalpost as they grow. You keep moving your goalpost as they grow.
So if I can,
you cannot say independence for.
So if I can just interject in that one as well. So where we've talked about everything it does look like overall parents have to let go to be able to do the right thing by the child. So you can't over pamper, you can't over love, don't compensate. Just try and balance.
No, you can't over love.
Parental control, versus letting the child have that level of independence. For them to be very useful to themselves at the starting point, and then useful to the society later on. Thank you so much for that perspective.
Well, he or she is doing things. He or she is bound to make mistakes. Let them go through their mistakes themselves. Let them resolve the mistake, and come out with a perfect solution to it without your assistance. Don't rush. Your parents at times rush to assist their children. A child wants to carry a bag. The mother will be carrying. I don't allow my parents to carry the bags for their children. The child must carry the bag and say bye-bye to you at the gate of the school. I don't allow parents to come into my school, taking their child, holding their hand, and bringing them into the classroom. No. You drop the child at the entrance. The child takes his or her bag and goes into the lobby, drop the bag where it's supposed to be, him or herself. Nobody carries the bag. Nobody places your bag in your cabin for you. You place your bag in your cabin and go to where you're supposed to sit. Draw out your chair and sit.
And I guess that's the discipline. That's a discipline as well that comes with a child knowing I'm now in school. I'm not at home, and when I'm in school, these are the things I'm supposed to do, which all the other children around me do as well. So there's an accepted mode of behavior, effectively, is what we're saying there, which they must learn and they must inculcate.
Yes, it is whatever you put into them that they do.
Yes.
It is whatever you teach them that they do. They're plain. They're open.
Yes.
Let us just model. When we model right, the children would follow suit. Set values appropriately according to their age and according to whatever operates in your family.
Yeah.
When they see you do those things, they follow. Children follow. They follow you. They mimic their parents.
Yes.
The child mimic their moms. The boys mimic their fathers.
Okay.
So it is whatever you do that they do.
They will follow through. Wow. Thank you so much for that. My next question, actually, it's around when you see these children, because we've talked about it, and it does take a lot for them to trust, to trust you, to trust your staff, to trust, for the parents also equally to trust. Funny enough, I would say, if I was to phrase the question, I would say it's a 50-50 thing where the parents trust you to do the best for the children. And actually the children to trust you as a figure of authority to do the best for them. So when you see the children that are committed to your care grow, develop, and actually start to enjoy their independence, how do you feel about that? What does that do to you?
Wow. There's nothing as satisfying as when you see a child, trying to successful in quotes.
Yes.
Being an ideal child.
Yes.
Bringing out all the things that you have put into them.
Yes.
Into practice.
Yes.
It gives a sense of satisfaction that you cannot quantify in naira and kobo.
Yeah. Yeah.
You discover that you just smile. It from inside, you feel fulfilled, you feel happy and excited. Yeah, that is it.
That's good.
And to me, that is more than any amount that that parents pay for putting their children in school.
Yes, yes. That makes I mean, that's so given, and it's so telling as well, because it's the same thing everybody talks about. There has to be job satisfaction, and I guess the job satisfaction for you is just seeing those children bloom, seeing them do the things. And the example you gave previously of a 2-year-old coming to you, finishing dinner, saying, "Oh, this is my food," taking it to the kitchen. There's nothing, more brilliant than being able to say, as a result of my influence, I've got a child doing right. So that's, I'm really glad that it's something you enjoy, and you just simply love being in that environment where you see your children, as I'll call them, grow.
Yes.
So thank you for that. So, and finally, I'll just get to this. Is a very interesting question, because you have the expertise around how to raise your child, bring them up. They come to me. We give them all the things that's necessary to foster them. But also, given your career history, you've worked in the civil service for 35 years before you retired, and then you've gone on to set up a business in education, so which is a nursery school. So how have you bridged the gap between your first love, which is teaching and imparting knowledge into young children, and running your nursery as a successful going concern?
Oh, wow. That's a big question.
It is a big question.
It's a big question. It is a big question. And I'm happy that you're asking that question, because there are two different ends to each other. As a public servant, having worked for 35 years, I already have a schedule.
Yes.
Wake up, dress up, go to work, come back. That's all,
Yes.
End of the month, your salary comes in.
Yes.
Standard.
Yep.
Is the other way round, being a business person.
Yes.
Is the other way, is 360-degree turn
around
from each other.
Yes.
Yes. Because whatever you put in here, is what you get.
Yeah.
If you put in 0, you get 0.
Yeah.
So
potentially minus 0.
I must say that, yes, if you put in 0, if you feel that, okay, I'm retired, let me sleep and wake up at 10 o'clock and go to the school and go and see, okay, what is happening in the school, then I'm afraid. And parents don't see you. They need an information, you're not there. They have a complaint, you're not there.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm afraid you are not going to make a headway.
Yes. Yes.
Especially in the school business. School business, dealing with children of that age.
Yes.
Requires a lot of attention, requires your presence 24/7.
Wow. Wow.
Because aside the preschool, I run a crèche.
Yes. Okay.
The crèche runs from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Wow.
It shows that I have to be there at 6 a.m. to see that babies coming in whose parents are working in Lekki and working on Victoria Island, leaving home at 6:30 or 6 o'clock, are dropping their children in safe hands.
Yes. Yes.
So it requires a lot of discipline, which I thank God and thank the public service for giving to me.
Yes.
The public service has given me that discipline to know that, yes, you have to be up and doing.
Yes.
Discipline enough to know that you have to go to work at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
and sit down and do what you're supposed to do. And that has been helping me.
Okay.
in running the school business. You know,
Wow.
the school is just 2 years old.
Okay.
And I thank God that, you know, we're doing well,
Yes.
you know, in our area, and we get good recommendations
That's
from
fantastic.
parents and from the neighborhood, you know.
Yeah.
So I thank God for the discipline that the civil service has given to me, and
Wow.
that is helping me, and the Christian upbringing that I have,
Yes.
and my little exposure and interaction with other people in that field.
Fantastic.
Has also helped me, you know. Yes.
Effectively, what you've just, if I can, you know, sort of just conclude, is what you've just said there, is it takes, whatever you're going to do, it takes discipline to succeed.
Yeah.
And although I think you said you summarized it quite well, but actually it takes a lot to go from being a paid employee to being an employer of people, and not just an employer of people, but also a guardian to children. You know, it's the interplay is huge, and it takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of planning. It takes the discipline, and actually I'll use the word diligence to actually succeed in it. And you made one other point, you know, obviously as a public administrator, you've got, you know, very good administrative skill set, which you can bring into your business. What a lot of businesses lack.
Can I come in there, please?
Yeah.
Yes, as a public servant, working for 35 years, I can recall that I have worked in about 10 different ministries.
Oh, wow.
You know, at different times, and met with different category of people.
Yes.
Both the junior officers and the senior officers. Managing people is one of the most difficult things to do.
Mm.
Yes. So with that background, with that at the back of my mind,
yes,
it has helped me, you know, in relating to both my parents,
yeah,
and my staff.
Yeah.
You know, I've had an experience of people management,
yes,
what they can do, what to expect,
mm-hmm.
and it's worse when you don't know what you're doing. When you can't give that leadership in an organization.
That is the word.
You must be able to give leadership.
Yes.
Because I cannot, if I'm there at 6 o'clock, I do not understand why my nanny will not be there.
Yeah.
So you must lead by example. Give leadership.
Very true. Very true.
I'm there at 6, I'm there at 6:30, and any parent that is taking her child at 8:30, I'm there.
Yes. That's the key. That's the key, actually. That is it. You've given, in order to succeed in this business, you've given it leadership, and there's a leadership that you've brought from the many years of experience in different areas.
When they see that, yes, you're giving that leadership, they don't have any excuse than to follow suit. And it will be successful because you already know what to do to make it a success.
Yes. You know? Yes.
It might not be, God say we should not despise little beginnings like this, you know, but you are setting the pace, and you are dotting your I's and crossing your T's into moving up to the next ladder and making it a huge success.
Yeah.
So I don't have a doubt in my mind that FRANTEES Home School is going to grow. You know. Yes. At the same time, having said all that, the place of God is very important in everything.
Mm-hmm.
The place of God is very important in everything. Finding myself at this time doing this, it is God. You know, because if I had listened to my inner voice, you know, having a first degree, a second degree in education, you know, just simply tells you that, okay, that is your passion.
Yes.
You know, but for wanting to explore or experience other careers,
yes.
You know, it's not again saying that I've just come back to my first love. I've just come back to what God has actually proposed for me to do.
And I will actually say that's probably the reason you're doing exceptionally well at it, because it's a combination of passion and experience.
Yes.
And it's a combination of passion and experience. And you've said it at some points that it's not about the money that you get out of it. There's actually, for what we're talking about, there's no amount of money that can compensate at retirement, waking up early like you've done 25 years ago, you've done 30 years ago, still going off to make sure things are okay, and then coming back home and showing that dedication. I'm sure your staff, I'm sure they would appreciate you now, but I'm sure we'll have some there that would have thought, oh my God, this madam is a little
Why
bit.
won't you rest? Why won't you? Yes. I hear that a lot.
I'm sure,
but I must tell you here that that is what that is the confidence that parents have in my school.
Yes,
because parents tell me that, oh, thank you, Mrs. Owolabi. When they come in the morning, they see me when they drop their children in the morning. Yes. When they're coming in the afternoon to pick them, they see me around. Yes. Even if they don't, if I'm not in the class, they're looking at me. They can see that I'm present in the school. I'm looking at my cameras in my office. Yes. I'm checking all the classes. So they kind of feel happy, and that their children are in safe hands.
Yes.
And that has helped me in those 2 years of running the school.
Fantastic. That is so good. Thank you so much for your time today. I mean, I'm wishing FRANTEES Home School a brilliant, yes, it started a beautiful beginning, and that beautiful beginning will carry on to becoming one of the best things, one of the best schools around there for raising our children from foundation. And I can only really commend you on your commitment to education. I can only commend you on your commitment to these children, to wanting to see them grow, because as I've said, you have choices, but this is a choice you've made, and I'm so happy that you're deriving a lot of satisfaction from it. So thank you so much, Mrs. Bolanle Owolabi. I'm so glad to have you today. I've enjoyed our conversation. I've learned a lot from it as a parent of teenage children as well. And I do hope people that would watch as well will take a lot of learnings away from it, especially in terms of the conflict management, in letting go, in terms of letting the child become independent. Thank you.